Boom. Welcome back. 5 coding iOS apps until we make $100. Day 10, I think. I should know that. Let me check the title. Yeah, it's day 10. All right. Let's just let's get on with it, shall we? Okay, so first, I have what's next to do for phase 11. But real quick, I want to check on the app that I wish I had to the store prior to starting the series. So I guess I technically can't count this. But nonetheless, just to get like an idea of what we should be looking at, because I got some questions on the last YouTube video about like what my plan is as far as like getting traction on the app. And I don't have any plan. Honestly, this first one was just a proof of concept, like, hey, that it can be done. And it's not a very useful app, right? So, and I'm talking about the one that I'm looking at on the screen, right? Rise and Move. I asked, or the guy that asked it, I mean, ideally, once Pulse gets pushed to App Store, Pulsio, once that gets pushed to App Store, I mean, ideally, we'll let it try to gain some organic traction first. But I was thinking about maybe dropping like $50 on the Apple App Store advertisements. I mean, I don't know, to be honest with you, because I just don't know how useful it is compared to like things like AdSense and whatever else. So, all right, we got some 11 people in the United States, 1 in Denmark, 1 in Hong Kong, 1 in Russia. Not bad, not bad. Not bad, not bad. Christian Soto in the Who's. Good evening. What's up, man? Good to see you. So to be honest with you, this as far as like organic exposure for what the app is, I think this is probably what you can expect from just silently putting an app out there and nothing happening. That's about it. So maybe possibly the $50 App Store credit might be useful, but I don't know. I'm not going to even bother trying that until this next one is done. Okay, so what's left? What's left in Pulse? We have pretty much a majority of the development phase is finished, and there was some things I added to the final phase, which I had forgotten about. So this onboarding flow, the idea behind this is that when a user first downloads it, they have like a slide, an onboarding slide that they can go through and at least understand how the app works before just like loading it up and not having any idea how to use it, right? I mean, it's as self-explanatory as possible and user-friendly, but you can still never like just assume that everyone's going to understand how things are working or how, what is this? What the hell is going on here? I don't think Xcode likes this plus symbol. Anyway, guys, got distracted there. So we need to implement that. That's probably what's going to be done immediately next. The Freemo UX indicator. So I don't know if you guys remember, and let me change this to, yeah, simulator. Let's push this guy out. So last time we put the settings button in a settings view for the users, and in there, the user should be able to know whether or not they have the free version or the paid version. I think that was already developed, but I think, oh, that's on, we're talking about on the recording view. Okay, never mind. Different view. Siri debugging. I don't think we're gonna do this. I'm most likely gonna have to do this. Excuse me. I have PTSD from saying that word. Every time I say it and I have my phone next to me, it goes off. I'm gonna have to do this manually off stream, I think, because it's just gonna be a cluster. Just trying to say that word 3,000 times. That and probably a majority of the other manual testing things that need to be done. So that's the third thing. Permission explanations. So review all permission strings, which I think we probably need to add more. I think probably less reviewing and more adding. An error handling path. So we need to have audit errors for paths, performance paths, and App Store assets. Probably these bottom ones here. And I'm gonna add to this too, manual testing. That's all going to be done off air because I just don't, it's going to be too much. So I'm going to get started with the onboarding flow. And before I do that, I want to update the context file so that both myself and Claude doesn't forget unit tests and manual testing. So okay, I'm telling it we're gonna add those two, and I wanted to. I think actually I already have like a list of stuff. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Let me see. I think I did have a list of all the stuff already for manual testing. Let me open up the workspace here. And up D in the house. Been a while. Glad to see you streaming again. Thanks, man. Glad to see you back in here. Okay. I wonder if. Okay, so I got this. Let's get to phase 11. Okay. That was last stream. Okay, maybe I didn't save them. Unless it's in the other context file. Unless it's in this one. Yeah, it's not. Okay. Please add detailed tests for both manual testing and unit testing. We need to cover at least 70% of the code base with the unit tests. 70% is ideal. Do 80% if possible, but we'll see. For manual testing, we need to have a list of as many manual scenarios as possible for testing as well. Please update the prompt by MD and Claude context files this information. When you are finished, let me know. We can proceed to phase 11 and tackle onboarding flow first. Okay. So much typing. How stressful. Okay, so let's let this caboodle. And actually, while this is doing that, let me make sure. Yeah, okay, so that status is there. Yeah, so I'm going to have to probably. I'm going to have to do most of the manual testing, I think, on the physical iPhone as opposed to the simulator, because I can guarantee you probably like half of the tests are going to require not having the paid version, not having the pro version, having the free version. And I'm going to have to start a new build or get a new build on it. And I forgot how that worked last time. I already have it on test flight. I can show you guys. I already have it on test flight, but the last app, I had some like debugging set up prior to launching it to the store that allowed me to like switch on and off pro and paid. which is not always the best thing to do because like if you're actually testing it in real time and you need to go through like the app store itself to verify whether the user's pro or paid or whatever tier of whatever thing is on your app, then it can get a little buggy. I don't remember exactly how I did it last time, but I'll have to figure it out and do that. But that's manual testing stuff, so I'll be doing that off screen anyway, I think. And I don't think the unit tests will require any of that stuff to be done. Like any unit test, we should start everything fresh, and we should be able to simulate that and mock that up in the code itself. So that should be good. Could be wrong. I don't know. Could be wrong, boys. We'll see. Also, somebody asked me in the comments the last stream. Somebody's like, "How much did you make so far?" I'm like $0. We have nothing pushed out to the App Store, and then underneath that comment, someone said, "How much are you paying for Claude?" I'll show you guys how much I'm paying for Claude right now. Let's see, billing, usage. I mean, I got right now. I'm paying for the $100 per month enterprise plan. There's two enterprise plans. There's like a $200 and a $500. And I think with the $200 or the $100 and the $200. With the $100, you get 12 million tokens every 5 hours, which should be plenty enough. I mean, you'd think, but I've done some stuff that has like burned like 1 to 2 million tokens with just like a single thing. So I mean, you never know. You never be careful. But let's check this guy out over here. Okay, that is a lot. I'm not gonna have to read all that. Okay, it didn't really listen to me. I said it added to phase 11, and it added a phase 12 for manual testing, so that's fine. Whatever. Looks like I did 13 too. And I also have a $50 monthly spending limit. And I like preload. I got $50 for free recently from Anthropic for Claude, not for their API. And I haven't spent that yet. I also have an account with their. I also have an API endpoint account, and I just preload that like with 20 to 30 to 40 bucks with whatever I need at the time to be done. So if I need like research done and it's gonna cost like 20, 30 bucks, I'll just put like 30 bucks on there and try not to hit the limit of it. So in irony, so far Claude has cost me more than it has garnered me in profit. But nonetheless, we're here for scientific research purposes, right? So fuck it, we ball. Okay. So it's updating that file, and then what we're going to do next, I believe, is going to be the onboarding flow, which we're going to need a new view for that. We should just need one view. And I don't think we're going to need any service files for that. So that shouldn't be too taxing to do. It shouldn't take too long either. We'll see. Oh, somebody asked me to explain my workflow. A little caboodled now, but you go back to maybe the first or second stream. I think I did a brief explanation of it. I'm literally vibing as much as possible. So like I'm really not doing any like strenuous workflows. At work, this would be done very differently. But pretty much we have two context files. We have prompt.md, and it doesn't matter what you name these two context files. Prompt.md, that's the original context file, and then Claude.md, that's the Claude context file. Started out with a prompt. In that prompt, and it wasn't just like, hey, one shot me this app, make no mistakes. It was like a detailed prompt with phases for each development and what we're going to use for building X, Y, and Z. And then as we're doing that, we update the prompt MD file, the prompt context file first, And then we also have Claude to keep context on every like little detail of the minute thing that happens. So if like something broke here or something else happened there. And usually like the idea is like when you go into those files, let me see if I can show you guys a big one. When you go into these files and you're doing like a big project, like it can get like it can get kind of like cluttered. So I'll show you guys. Here's one. This one I had called plan.md, and that was the original file. And then I had claude.md. So we'll just look at both of them. All right. So here's the original plan.md file. So this is kind of like the specifics for each phase and what we're going to do. The hierarchy of the folders, the folder structure, and everything else. Like for this one was a multi-currency peer-to-peer exchange, exchange. So all that, database design, how we're going to create the tables, yada, 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 yada. If you keep going, you can see where each phase was done. And then I had like manual testing to verify things were good after each phase. And this, I mean, this is a lot. This is getting junked up. And this is quote unquote my context file, right? So like, yeah, and of course I'm having, it's a markdown file. So of course I'm having the AI write it for me because believe me, this would look terrible. Absolutely fucking terrible if I had to manually write this myself. But just to give you guys an idea of like how much is going on in there. So that's the plan context file. And in the app that we're building on the stream, obviously it's not called plan, it's called prompt. It doesn't really fucking matter. And here's the Claude context file. So this is the one that is supposed to be keeping Claude accountable. And yeah, so you can see all what's going on in here. And pretty much anytime something broke or something nuanced happened, let's look at this. Yeah, so here's one. In this project, I kept having a problem with Docker breaking because of SQLite, and figured out we had to like basically rebuild SQLite every single time. So it was noted, right? It was noted when that happened, and so that way when it gets reran again, and once you start your session, boom, it loads all this context. It already knows that's a common thing, and it's going to go ahead and fix it. It's not even. It might not even tell you about it. It might, but whatever. Cole, you in the house? What up? Big ups. Kyle says, "Are we winning yet, son?" Almost. Almost. So yeah, that's what those look like. In this one, it's a little bit less convoluted. Excuse me, guys. I'm drinking a Coke over here, and I'm like burping everywhere. Okay, so let's get this guy going with the onboarding flow. And yeah, I don't think this should be too much. It should just be one view file, and it should be pretty simple. Should be pretty simple. I don't know what's going on with this. What's going on here? Oh, Plus was deprecated in iOS 26. Use string interpolation in text instead. Okay, so. Uh-oh. The plus sign was deprecated. What are we going to do? What do they want to use instead? That's so dumb. Why would you do that, Apple? Why would you do that? Why would we want to make that look even uglier? Unless, okay, let's see. How many slides we want? Welcome how it works, get started. Welcome how it works, permission info for upgrade. Yeah, I think we're going to go 3 slides because I think 4 is going to be too much. We don't need a detailed walkthrough, so. Yeah, we'll include the purchase button in case somebody just wants to immediately grab it and go purchase it. Whatever. Gazoo tight. Excuse me, fellers. Okay, so yeah, we do just create one file. That's the onboarding view. And we're gonna modify app storage. Okay. 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 How's your plan for this ready to execute? Would you like to proceed? 41% used. Okay, whatever. That's fine. Forget about it. Oh, you know what? I think I might have forgotten something in that. Yeah, I think. Oh no, that's going to happen right when the user goes to click the record button. Never mind. I was thinking about having to give access to the microphone for the app, but as soon as you click the record button for the meeting, it's going to prompt the user to give it access if they don't already have it. So that should be okay. Shouldn't have to do that. Okay. Sorry, guys. Let's see what I'm laughing at. All right, looks like it was done. It's the last thing you're founding into your C's before leaking all your environment variables. Okay, all right. Build succeeded. Let's. Did it build it on its own? I don't think so. Before I make a fresh build and test it out, let's. Shit. Hold on. I also forgot something. We need something to keep track of if this is the first time a user has ran the app or not. The onboarding flow should only go if it is the first time a user is running it. Was this handled? I think it might have been because we did make changes to App Store. We did do something with App Store. Just saw that. Yep, it's already handled. Okay, great. Aha! That's right. Okay, and the other thing that I wanted to do, what did I think? Oh, that's right. That's right. We got this like error over here. What's going on over here? Okay, before I build and run it, we have warning on line 65 of paywall view. All right, so you fixed the warning. Boom. Josh talking to code while I'm at the gym is chat maxing. Yes, we're Claude maxing. We're Claude maxing right now. Makes you more max Chad. Yes, it will. Okay, let's push the. Okay, that should be good. Let's push this build and let's test it out. Oh, you know what? I might have to delete the app on the simulator. Yeah. Damn it, Bobby. Let's do that. Let's delete the app. We'll have a fresh install. That way there'll be no shenanigans as to whether or not it's the first time a user ran the app. I have to press build again? Did they kill the last build? I guess so. Okay. That's fine. Breaking news. Hegsteth gives Anthropic until Friday to back down on AI safeguards per active. Nigeria's what active? What does that even mean? What does that even mean, fellas? What does that mean? I don't understand. Okay, why is this not? Do I have to kill it? And then, come on, you piece of crap. Come on, Apple. Let's go. Do I really have to kill the whole simulator? Okay. Fine. Fine. Fine, we will destroy the entire simulator. And we will rebuild it. We'll make it better, faster, stronger. I swear this better have like a fresh build on it, or else I'm gonna throw the computer out my window. Okay, where is it? There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, on to the onboarding flow. Welcome to Pulsio. Turn meetings into actions automatically. Record your meetings, detect action items on it, devices, and create Apple reminders and calendar events, all privately with no cloud processing. We'll try the swipe first. Okay, that's good. Swipe works. The next button works as well. How it works, record your meetings. Tap record to speak naturally. AI detects action items, create reminders and events. On-device intelligence, find tasks in your words. Send actions to Apple reminders and calendar. All processing happens on your device. Your data stays safe and private. Boom. Okay, so let's. It does give the. Try to continue for free. Okay, maybe we need to move the continue for free button up a little bit because that was kind of covered by the. Looked like that was kind of covered by the ellipses. If I pull ellipses right. So let's move that up. And I'm gonna have to delete the app again. I probably have to kill this stupid freaking. Why does this work like that? Like, why can't you just work? You can just work. Let's kill the simulator. Okay. Are we mogging Anthropic? Or is Anthropic mogging us? I don't know what I don't know what that means. You guys want to see? You want to take a look at that real quick? I will look at that in a second. Let me figure out this hunk of junk right here. Oh shit! I canceled it before the. I didn't realize it was gonna work. I didn't realize it was gonna work, and then I canceled it. Maybe it still works. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, that's much better. I don't know, guys. Does it look too disingenuous that like the continue for free is like kind of like invisible? I mean, I know that's part of the marketing thing, but all right, whatever. Very good, very good. Great. Let's proceed. And what was the next thing we needed to do? I'm not sure what. I'm not sure what exactly you're talking about. Unpopular opinion or unpopular take, but this is exactly the scenario Anthropic was built for. If they fold by Friday, everything they said about safety was marketing. If they hold, they actually mean it. Either way, we find out who they really are this week. Give an AI company a deadline to drop safeguards. It will signal about there's a wild signal about where priorities are. Yeah, touche. So Americans are watching the military demand a company remove safeguards it wants to have. Are you still living in a free country? Question mark. But Anthropic solves this, right? I never thought I'd hear a sec dev tell somebody to be less safe. Yeah, dude, seriously. Props to Anthropic for having some clarity on AI murder. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready for Cyberpunk Edge Runner 2027 or 2077, whatever it is, IRL. Okay, what's next? Onboarding flow is done. The series shortcut debugging, yeah, that's going to be part of the manual testing that I'm going to not be able to do on the stream. Permissions, explanation of field, permissions, request strings. Okay, let's do the free mode UX subtle indicator to record. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, guys. Anthropic safety guards are a legitimate assertion of intellectual property rights, and the government's demand that doing business with the Pentagon grants it near unlimited authority over how private intellectual creation may be used. That's a dangerous precedent for all private property. Yeah, they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. You think the defense industry gives a shit about that? Come on, son. Come on, son. Okay, what do we change here? Okay. Okay, so now free users should be able to see. Yeah, we are free in here. So now free users should be able to see their time limit left on the recording. Let's make sure that looks good. Start recording. Allow. Yeah, there we go. So it does say 3-minute limit. Okay. I mean, that'll suffice. Sure, go ahead. Uh-oh. There was an error. Okay. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to figure out what that was. What is next? We have what was next? Oh, the Siri debugging.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a pain in the ass because we're gonna need the physical device. So let's do the permissions explanations. Okay. Also needs microphone access for recorded meetings. Yep. Yeah. Let's make sure we have extra nice good words. And then pretty much after that, the manual testing, it's pretty that and setting it up for the getting it prepared for the App Store, which I've already done some stuff. And I can show you guys what I did do on that. Make sure. So I have to fill out all this information inside of the iOS app version 1.1.0 submission. So I gotta get screenshots, promotional text, description, keywords. Fill out some of this stuff already. App clip, iMessage app. Don't need that. Add to the build, notes, my information, attachments, and then we have to fill out everything in this app information form, which did some of that. Why is this too many spaces there? What the hell's going on with that? Age ratings. Most of this is like going to be like administrative stuff, but there's really not a lot left that is needed to be done here. That'll probably take me like 1 to 2 hours of time to do. And probably the most painful part of it will be taking screenshots. So that should be fine. Okay, we'll do error handling pass. So pretty much after these last changes we're making right here, the unit tests and then the manual testing, which the manual testing is going to take the longest of them all. The unit test, we should be able to spin those up like in 2 seconds. It's pretty much going to be ready for the App Store at that point. Making the assumption that every single test passed is fine, which is never the case, and it's guaranteed it's not going to happen. But nonetheless, once it is fully tested, I think we've got everything. I've done a lot of forgetting on this app, but I think it did a good job of like making up for it after the fact. So should be almost good to go. And I don't know. I'll say by the Thursday stream, it might already be up. Depends on how much I want to work on this tomorrow. But we'll see. But if not, or if so, let's say if so, then I already need to think of the next. I need to think of the next app idea because remember, the challenge is to get $100, right? And I've thought nothing about any of the monetization aspect of it, any of the marketing aspect of it, any of that stuff. So we need either cool ideas or we need to hold people ransom for $100. I don't know. We're gonna have to do something, guys. We're gonna do something. Isn't Anthropic ex OpenAI employees who quit over ethics? I think people from both OpenAI and Anthropic have quit over ethics, dude. In the last year, like it's like last week or 2 weeks ago, one of the founders of Anthropic quit. Let me see if I can find that. February 12th. Marinank Shamar? Yeah, the head of the Safeguards Research Team, that's right, resigned, citing the world is in peril. That was February 12th. So, in a letter posted on X, Shamar said he was leaving to pursue work more aligned with his personal values, mentioning, "I've seen this within myself, within the organization, where we constantly face pressure to set aside what matters most." The concerns raised, he highlighted that the world is in peril, quote, "the world is in peril due to a mix of interconnected crisis, including AI, bioweapons, and difficulty of balancing AI safety with corporate pressure. Yeah, so he was the team leader for the AI safety research, and he was examining minimal misuse and misalignment, developing defense against AI-assisted bioterrorism. Shit, it's creepy, man. He's gonna go focus on her poetry degree. Yeah, I don't know. It could just be like, dude, just like doing a classic founder exit and like, yo, I'm done. I'm like, I got my 100 mil or whatever, and I'm gonna go. I mean, if I ever founder exit, you will not see me here. Well, I'll be here, but I won't be physically here. If you get what I'm saying, I will not be in Miami, Florida. I will be very far away, probably, and I'll probably be spending most of my time fishing or doing something like that, riding a jet ski. Okay, build succeeded. Okay. And probably I also want to do one final. I'm going to do the manual testing and the unit testing. I want to do a final examination of the code base as well for anything that could be unnecessary or not needed. Okay, so pretty much. Yeah, that's going to be physical device. App review checklist. Okay, let's. In manual testing and unit testing are phases 11, 12, and 13. I want to add one more. Yeah, okay. Add a final phase. We will analyze what you think necessary. To the app store. Okay. Now let's check Git status. There's a lot. Okay, great. Please update. Yeah, guys, I don't know. Let's see. What exactly did he say? That's 2 hours ago? God damn. Oh, come on, New York Times. You piece of shit. Excuse me. Come on, man. Fine. Fine. Take my information. No. Why is Boomer News making us pay money to view it? Come on, man. NPR, that should be free, right? Hester threatens to blacklist Anthropic over woke AI concerns. Oh man. Do you guys want to listen to this? You listen to it?
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is threatening to blacklist Anthropic from working with the U.S. military for refusing to loosen safety standards. The Trump administration says it is giving Anthropic this Friday to agree to new terms on a $200 million defense contract with the AI firm. That threat came today in a meeting between Hegseth and top officials from Anthropic, and it comes as Trump officials seek to root out what they are calling woke AI across the federal government. And here's Bobby Allen is here to explain. Hey, Bobby. This all sounds tense today. What exactly happened? Yeah, as you mentioned, Hegseth gave Anthropic a deadline on Friday to agree to these new terms, or the administration will retaliate. And that's according to two people familiar with the meeting who were not authorized to speak publicly. And there is this threat is a really big deal because Anthropic's Claude chatbot was approved as the first AI system that can be used in classified networks. That was last summer. And since then, there has been an escalating standoff between Trump officials and Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei, who has drawn two red lines saying that he will not cross. The first is that, AI will not be used. His AI will not be used in domestic mass surveillance. And the second is that AI-assisted weapons like autonomous armed drones will not be used with Anthropic systems. And Hegseth has bristled at these red lines. And you said that the Trump administration says it will retaliate. What exactly does that mean? So initially, Anthropic thought the administration was going to cancel its $200 million contract unless it agreed to these new terms. But now, a top Pentagon official has said, no, if Anthropic does not agree, it will just compel the company to allow the military to use its tools under something called the Defense Production Act. Then it says it will designate Anthropic a supply chain risk. So in sum, the White House is saying, we will use your technology regardless of what you want, but we also will prevent you from getting future work with the military. Okay, so how far outside of the norm in the industry are Anthropic's guidelines? How does it compare with other AI companies? They're an outlier here. Its major rivals, Google, OpenAI, XAI, have all said they will abide by the administration's requirement that AI can be used in any and all lawful circumstances. Anthropic's Amadei says he will not buckle under administration pressure. Last month, he wrote an essay.
You guys can hear this, right?
Where he said AI companies should resist attempts by government to use AI for things like spying, propaganda, and warfare. Amadei wrote, quote,
what do you want?
Is having too small a number of fingers on the button such that one or a handful of people could essentially operate a drone army without needing any humans to cooperate to carry out their orders. To which the Pentagon is saying, what? The Pentagon says in order to lead tactical operations, AI systems cannot have exceptions, right? And that it would only ever use AI in quote-unquote lawful orders. Any resistance to this has been labeled woke AI, which is kind of a fuzzy term that Trump officials are using it to describe any safety guardrail it considers burdensome. And if the Trump administration follows through on these threats and retaliation, what does that do to Anthropic as a company? Anthropic's Amadei has made a point of saying it's not going to do very much, and that is because most of its business is B2B, so enterprise business. It doesn't really rely on government work as much as some other rivals. But this is what's happening here. Mary said this all comes at a time when Anthropic is under a lot of scrutiny since the company is planning to go public this year. So it is unclear how this friction with the administration will sit with investors. Thank you, Bobby. Thanks,
bro. Those developers, but they get a fat fucking payout. Fat payout. All right. I'll push everything up, guys. That's it for the night. I believe Thursday it might be finished. So if you guys got any ideas for the next one, start thinking about them. We got to build something. I'm out. Bye.